seems I can't walk out of my front door without being accused of stepping on someone's paving stone. When will this madness ever end?
Hello, traders. Welcome to the stream. This is pretty much like a reawakening or a baptism stream for me streaming and all my stuff, like my lights and my OBS and my stream deck and my internet and everything else. Spent like a lot of time today getting that done. Paid my IT guy to come over to get it resolved. So I was on my wit's end. You could see the stream yesterday, just like, well, if the internet doesn't work, and I'm having to manually click everything, and then the internet didn't work, and it's like, well, I can't even stream. This is just like, it's done, dude. So yesterday was the breaking point, and now we're good, right? We're solid. I mean, like, everything works again. The Stream Deck came out with an update a couple days ago. Seems like it works pretty well. As you can see, no more clicking for me. I'm no more keyboard. Well, I was making the analogy to Warcraft, playing Warcraft, clicking my spells at my hotkeys again. So I think that's awesome, dude. All right, so it's just a big deal for me today. All right, not a very big day for Bitcoin at all. I mean, just you're looking at the daily here. I know you can't believe it. Bitcoin closed at almost the identical price it closed at yesterday, and pretty much the same day as the day before. Wow, 48 hours plus of, I mean, nothing.
TA Jesus Reborn. Welcome back, bruh.
What's up, Nick? Thanks for the 1001 super chat. Was with the 1 penny. Thank you, dude. Yeah, so just dead Bitcoin. Markets might as well be closed with this price action. Daily still in the bearish control zone. Okay, great. Any hope on the 4 hour? I mean, my concern is just like this right here, this extended positive momentum and just nothing. I mean, it's cool. Like, you know, people be like, but dude, higher lows, but 16.2 spring back test. Okay, well, higher lows, and it's just neutral. You have neutral price action at this point from the November 9th low to now. We have an 8-day consolidation phase at this point so far, and it's neutral where you have higher lows but then lower highs. That's symmetrical triangle pennant stuff. So you get your coin out, you flip it. It's probably where you're breaking. You could break upward, your target would be 17,581. If you break downward, 16.2, and then below that's 14K. I mean, I guess you could say probably 15.5 to retest that again, but that's kind of where we are. Very, very locally neutral price action, unfortunately. It seemed like we were just going to roll over, but then we didn't roll over. But I just like, I've got concerns about this. Like, you just don't spend much more time than this before you go negative again, right? So just keep your guard up. That's all I can tell you. Everything looking good on y'all's side, okay? Because like all these changes are great for me. Reinvigoration a little bit after just so much despair and just things happening. This is a big win over here. Look, man, I can do it. I can freaking do it. I can like, look at this. Oh yeah, it feels real good. Bills. All right. So that's it. Neutral, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I guess it's becoming neutral. It was way more bearish, and now it's just. I think it's just terrible below 1224, 1223. I think it's bad here, but of course, you've continued like being below 1223, auto bearish, of course. But when, good God, man, like you're testing old 1266 level as resistance, right? Look, you can see it's so important. It's effing unbelievably important, as it was resistance in June again, July, all resistance, right? Then it just became so many times support, and now it's become resistance again. But then you've fallen below that, and the lower end of things was zone because 1223 is a dead cat bounce from 2018. And you're below that, and you're testing that as resistance. But the problem is, like, what we just think, oh, it's full on bearish. Why are the sellers not coming in? Where's the selling? Like, I mean, Genesis is screwed, right? People are losing their money. I mean, there's contagion still going on, and Ethereum and Bitcoin just aren't selling off anymore. Why are these lows higher than this low? And why, after clearly rejecting key inflection points, are you not just collapsing now? I don't know. Like, I don't know why. It's kind of weird. I figured we'd be rolling over and it'd be going on down to $1,000 by now. It's just with what price action we're receiving at these inflection points, and it's just not happening. It's staying elevated. So what can we say? All we can say with Ethereum is you are below key inflection points. You have successfully bearishly back tested them as resistance again. You have reconfirmed the validity of these areas as resistance. But there's been zero follow through after the fact, right? We've now just done it. We've been doing it for the past, at least 1266. You've been doing it the past 48 hours. And then before that, November 14th through the 15th, you were testing the top end, or 1224 and 1266. So it's just like, stage is set for a collapse. It roll over, oh my God, we're going live at a random time because there's a crash going on. We're at that point, but it hasn't happened yet. And if you don't do it, then maybe there's just not enough selling pressure to collapse us, and then it just breaks upward. Definitely not enough sellers or buyers. I mean, we really are just neutral consolidation right now. Even with all like what I've said, it's there. The stage is set for a crash or a massive drawdown, but no one's selling. Not enough people are selling yet. So it's like maybe we're early, or maybe we're just completely effing wrong in our assessment of what assets do at key inflection points and what they mean, right? I mean, I think this thing's about to get wrecked, but where are the sellers? God, with all the bad news, the continuation of bad news, right? Didn't the sex tape come out today with the two incels, one female incel? They would be, right? They'd both be incels if it wasn't for them scamming and defrauding millions of people, right? But since they did that, they didn't become incels, but in a weird way, they kept their standards extremely low as they were incels by getting with each other. That came out, I think, today. And it was also found out when they were, crowdfunding, right? Getting their seed money or whatever. I mean, like, of the 420 that they got in one round, scam, bankrupt, fraud, he took 300 million of it, pocketed it, right? So Ethereum stake, bro, it's not going anywhere. Well, contrarily, this is something I want to talk about today that I had been talking about last night with patrons. You've already been pinged on if you're a patron. So he's like, you're getting the early access. What's happening? Did I just say something and make, yeah, sorry. I mean, what can you do when this is reality, Brad? Like when this is something that it's real and it's new, it's like an event. And unfortunately, it's not really safe for work but it is because it happened and it's in this space that we're in. So it's got to be talked about. I mean, it's just something. Okay. So, I'll show you why I just don't have, I think Bitcoin, no matter where the markets are going, we need to look at Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum to Bitcoin today so you can see some really good stuff. Well, at least it's a good idea, or it might be, and it could be educational for you on a Friday evening. But anyway, that's Ethereum. Daily, it's dead on the daily, no movement, It's below the resistance. It just closed. Look, man, 1224. What is it? I'll just show you so you can see it again that I'm not crazy here. It is a dead cat bounce peak. Look, from January 2018. That's it. It's now confirmed resistance again, like it was those years ago. It happened again today, confirmed. But no selling. It actually, for 48 hours, has done that. It broke it with a bearish engulfing candle 3 days ago. 2 days ago, it was confirmed as resistance again. It did it again yesterday, and now today, the new day. Shouldn't we dump? You'd think we would. You think that's the next thing, if that's real. And the way all that positive momentum on the 4 hours just extended out for 8 days now. I think it's 8 days of no negative momentum on the 4 hour, which is kind of getting there. Okay. I know, Julia. It's my fault. No, it's their fault. They shouldn't have done those things. Disgusting. Okay. Got a BNB. I'm just gonna be kind of like this. Wow, a bullish engulfing candle confirmed yesterday. Technically. Man, if you were gonna be the most technical human being on the planet and you're going by candle closes and you'd be saying Class C hidden bullish divergence on BNB. The same lows. All of them, the same lows, but then higher levels of negative momentum on the same low, this low, then this same low. So hidden bullish divergence, somehow buyers defending keeping the bearish. Look at this, my God, since August, you fall into it, but geez, look at that. Uh-oh, something's messed up on my, I got some problems here. Crap, I knew it was gonna be something. Let me, I gotta do something, dude. Here we go. Something was off. All right, that looked pretty good, but you see that 40 just holding and then holding. Are we springing back, testing the Springer? I don't know. It's hard to trust because of how Bitcoin is, and in Ethereum, we just discussed it. But hey, man, there you go. BNB, dead middle of a range. It's hard to strategize along or short, because in the middle of major inflection points. So have fun with that. That's where you are. Up marginally yesterday. XRP. I mean, look at this. 4 days. And these are daily candles. 24 hours of price action. Get out your microscope to see the spread, the change in price daily. It's just, people have stopped trading. I mean, collectively, a lot of people have stopped trading crypto. You can tell by the price action since all this stuff happened. It's still below the 200-day moving average. Yeah, I get it. The issue is when you show 4 hour bullish divergence and a second low like this at support, and you don't start really going soon, eventually it loses its oomph and then it starts rolling over again, and it would roll over with the macro. And you still haven't made a higher high yet. It's fine, but it's not fine when you know what Bitcoin does to these underlying assets. If it rolls over, this would roll over too. This would be headed downward next too. So back to 32.5 cents. Okay.
XTB/USDT on KuCoin. Thanks, Mitch. 0.00110000 BTC.
So anonymous, yeah, we can look at that. Thanks for the Bitcoin contribution. Cheers, dude. The lights, man, they work. They work again. I'm so happy. Fantastic. So just make of that what you will, man. There's just no movement, no price action. And if Bitcoin rolls over 32.5, if Bitcoin rallies to 17,581, I could see us going to a minimum 45 cents here. So again, if we have bearish, or I mean, you're in a bear trend, really bad things are going on. But for the past, since the selling pressure stopped on the 9th, I mean, we're talking 10 days with neutral consolidation on Bitcoin. You just know that wherever Bitcoin breaks, XRP is going to break too at this point. What's the next one? Matic, right? That had looked better, but then at the same time, this is an idea I have now, because there's this range on Matic where this was it. You can see the orange lines from the bottom to the top. You see them, And what happened was you had this massive rally and hit another key inflection point and rejected it twice, and you dumped hard, but then rallied. But now lately, locally, that old level, those old inflection points have now become valid again. Right, that's what's happened. The top of the range reconfirmed validity of resistance again, twice, below the 200 moving average, and starting to roll over. So you're thinking here, that is prime for the bottom of the range to be tested again. And I've got like a butterfly idea here, like the XABCD, 786 on B and a lower high on C, and 1272 around 65 cents. It may not hit the 65 cent zone, but it might hit 69 cents to hit the bottom of the range again, and that'd be the target here. Okay, but that's real. You're back in a range, and you've reconfirmed that you're back in a range with price action. That's real. So it's hard to be really bullish when that happens. Until you break above 98 cents again, you kind of got to respect what it's recently done, right? I would think so. Elizabeth Holmes, you don't know who she is? She was the Theranos CEO. She was the next Steve Jobs, according to Jim Cramer, of course. And then it turned out her entire business was an absolute scam. So it was the Enron of the 2010s. Yeah. But now we have a new Enron. It's just it's so ironic, right? I mean, like that all this stuff's happening. We now are a week into this whole FTX scandal unraveling, and she gets sentenced to 11 plus a little over 11 years of prison, and he's still walking as a free man. 7 days now after this has been like exposed, something's wrong. Something's off with, something doesn't make sense. This dude should not be walking the streets of the Bahamas at all. Yes, he did. Kramer said that SBF was the new JP Morgan, or FTX was the new JP Morgan, or whatever. Yep. And then you saw Forbes today, psycho, sociopaths. The media are in bed with FTX because guess what FTX did? Tens of $millions to the Democratic Party. And guess who completely owns Forbes and all the mainstream media? Well, there's one side of the political spectrum that owns all the institutions now. You know which one it is. I don't have to tell you. And then they like legitimately, Forbes tweeted that it was something about the alt-right involved with the whatever her name is, the ugly girl that was terrible, who scammed everybody. Anyway, it's just crazy, man. Like, he's free, and then the media, all the media together are working together and not destroying him. They're like, hey, it's not a big deal. It was just a crypto. He had an empire, and it just imploded somehow. It was I think it had to do maybe with conservatives or something. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was them. Look at them. All right, so Matic, one of your biggest cryptos, looks like there's more downside based on most recent price action, but it hasn't happened yet. Nor has it happened on Bitcoin or Ethereum. You're just wondering, okay, if it hadn't happened yet, is it going to? Good question. Matic, and then Cardano. Cardano is just hot garbage, dude. It's just like, this is terrible. At least with Bitcoin, I mean, it's kind of neutral. This is way more bearish than bullish because, you know, your highs, look at the disparities. Like, there were this many people that owned Cardano on November 10th, 37 cents. And then now there's only this many people that own Cardano on the 15th. And then now this many on the 18th. I mean, it's just like substantially lower. But then look how the lows are so much closer together. So it's like way more bearish bias, I think, than neutral here. I think this is just so bearish. And it's below everything. It's below all supports, man. All of them. So if it breaks upward, you can thank Bitcoin, because that means Bitcoin broke upward out of its neutral stuff. There's no way this thing's going up by itself. Sorry, Cardano. You can look at
ugly is an ugly 5-letter word, SOL, and a daily looking nice. Breaking last, keep my short running.
Solana. Oh, I gotcha. 5-letter word, Solana. Thought you were about to say Solana was pretty or something. It looked nice. Solana daily looking nice. What does that mean? You think Solana daily looks nice? Might as well tee it up. For Sol. Bruh. That does not look nice. That looks somehow worse than Cardano. Or we're talking about the distribution is so severe. Like there's a base of buying kind of around here, you know, $13, and the severe distribution. Just hanging on to this last level from March of 2021, it seems like. And once that breaks, it's just $5. I think $5 is imminent. It looks nice for a short. I mean, yeah, it does. This is disgusting, dude. Like hyper distribution locally since the 9th. And you gotta really love on this rally, the formal back test. The area that forever was always the target area, it became resistance. The old high from February 2021, that's why I had it as a zone and not just one spot. It was back tested formally as resistance to confirm its validity to market participants, and now it's just getting ready to collapse. And look at this. This is what I'm talking about. The same thing on Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything else. It's just like so much positive momentum, and you're just making lower highs. You're just getting ready to collapse again, man. And if it doesn't, that's clown pate, man. That's clown market. Look at this. 4 hour on Solana at 34. So you completely reset the oscillators. You gotta really love this, man. Let me show you. 40. You've rejected it. You are in the bearish control zone, and it's very real. A couple times you tried to break out of the bearish control zone. Nope. You shall not pass. He says the daily's looking nice. He says. I mean, it's okay. It's, you know, it's price terrible. Oscillators not that crazy. I mean, you know, it could be going neutral to go positive again. But yeah, this negative memo you think would probably start building again on much lower prices. Look at this. Look at this chart, man. This is a fruit fly support. This breaks is just like straight down, just $5. You can go ahead and book $5, dude. I mean, remember, this was just merely a scam, or this was a tool that the scammers used. That's all it was. Oh. Hanging on by your chinny chin chin or something like that, right? Okay, yeah, so those are your bigger coins. We can look at Doge, and then we'll move on with a couple things I want to talk about. Doge, just you're below 9 cents. That's an issue. You're below 8.68 cents. That's an issue. Those are big areas that if you stay below it too long, then you're probably going to 7.8 cents again. Yeah, I just too many failures, and now I'm just thinking about Bitcoin here and Total and Ethereum and how they just look so miserable on the 4 hour that if they roll over, you know where Doge goes. 7.8 cents. The only thing that would save this, unlike everything else, there's nothing else in crypto like this, really. The only thing that would save this is an Elon tweet. It's so weird. That has to be discussed because it's something that could happen. Slim chance, improbable, but he just posts one picture of a dog, a little Apple emote of a dog. It's not even Doge. You just think pumps 30%, 20%. But if we're just talking about technicals without Elon, this is bad. I mean, you were just spending too much time failing to break 9 cents with a bad macro behind you too. So, okay, that's it. So, let's real quick shift it to Bitcoin dominance. I think you'll be really, really intrigued by this analysis here, okay? Wyckoff accumulation. I had a dream last night, man. Or not last night. I was daydreaming at night last night. And this is what I came up with, okay? And you tell me, I'm going to pull up the schematic too. will certainly pull up the chart, and you're going to make the decision yourself. Let's talk about this. Okay. I love this, right? Feels so good. So the one thing we don't have preliminary support. It never really came in on this unless you want to talk about maybe 50%. But everything else is good, right? You have your selling climax. And on the selling climax, right, a selling climax, when a bottom gets put in, was part of it anyway. There's 3 parts to putting a bottom in on a Wyckoff range. But at the bottom, you had expanded volume. That's a volume signature that's very important for the selling climax. After selling climax, we catch our automatic rally. Okay, the automatic rally, the AR. That gives you the top of the range. The selling climax is the bottom. The AR is the top. And then you get your secondary test, the ST. And we had our secondary test. Then we had our rally, or the secondary test and the rally. And then, of course, right, another part of the top of the range. Well, that's what we got here. A little different here than you would get in the schematic itself. You know, you get secondary test in phase B. You don't always just get one. This is why I have 2. You have 2 secondary tests in phase B. And even here, look at this. It is common to have multiple secondary tests after a selling climax. Well, we have multiple secondary tests. All right, phase B. And so you get another rally in phase B, right? Okay, we got a couple rallies to see the top of the range and then the bottom and the major sell-off from the top to the bottom. And that is where phase C began. And Bitcoin dominance fell below the range briefly. We remember we were here. It's like, oh my God, dude, lowest levels Bitcoin dominance had seen since February 2018. That day, it was the date of September 8th. There was the spring, and then the back test of the spring. There it is. That's where we are. We are at the end of phase C, if this is real life. And the last things to be done, you merge into phase D, and then you get last points of supply, backups, signs of strength before breaking upward. And that's where we are. That's where I think we are. So maybe we do a poll. Okay, let's do it. It's very easy. Is Bitcoin dominance and Wyckoff accumulation? Yes or no? There's the poll. If you think that's crazy, if you think that's all crazy, we can now go to Ethereum to Bitcoin. What? Ethereum to Bitcoin. I thought that was going to moon, man. I thought that was kings forever. Well. Unfortunately, it's not. Looks can be deceiving, but not when it looks like this. Where we have Wyckoff distribution going on, right? We didn't get that preliminary supply, but we got the buying climax, the automatic rally, the secondary test, the signs of weakness in phase B. Look how perfect this is. Sign of weakness in phase B, and then in phase B you get an upthrust. Well, we certainly ended up getting an upthrust, didn't we? In December of 2021. This is a huge range, man. This is not a joke. Okay, and something that happened that's not in the schematic is you showed more weakness, another sign of weakness in phase B, which is right here. You saw the bottom again. That's really bad, right? Remember, like these ranges dictate and tell you that the buyers are no longer in control of supply. There's overwhelming supply. And so the sign of weakness before you ran to up Up thrust after the test. Up thrusting after the test. Well, you're up thrusting and you're testing. It's like the inverse of spring back test of spring. And now we are in the last points of supply, phase D, where this is your first one. You should roll over slightly and then rally again, make another lower high, and eventually phase D will complete with signs of weakness where we're testing the bottom of the range again. It could take months, right? But going back down to 5.5 million, and if you ever break down, that's when phase E begins, and that's when the major markdown begins. So that's my argument based on traditional technical analysis. Someone can come in and be like, "No, dude, no, based on my opinion, higher number go up." Like, okay, well, it's fine. It's your argument. I'm just trying to make mine. So there you go, man. So it would be like, if you would just, in the poll, you would just answer if you think this is distribution, you would just say yes in the poll, because they are the equal and inverse. Like if we flip this chart over, bro, it's pretty much Bitcoin dominance, right? Flipping it over. So I thought you might get a kick out of that today. We had to scrap yesterday's stream because the internet, I couldn't do it. It was just, I had to give up. Broken. So this would be in lieu of that, this. Okay, so just want to get through that. I guess we can go to Grindr, which is you know what it is, dude. Okay. It SPACed today, IPO SPACed. It was up 211% to close the day. Or I guess it was, I don't understand why it looks like this, but yeah, it was up over 200%. It hit 350% up at the top. It hit $70. Can you believe today Grindr hit $70? Then it closed at $35. From its top, think about that. That's way crazier. I mean, as crazy as an S coin, right? Where you lose 50% of your value from the top in an hour or two. You understand how many people, there were scrubs out there that actually bought Grindr at $70 today at the top. Someone did it. Okay. So that's, I mean, there's nothing more to talk about. It's like, it's Grindr. It was up insane amounts. It SPACed. It IPO'd. And that's it. I wish we could look at the Theranos chart. But I just don't think it's going to be here, is it? Nope, no Theranos, man. Sorry.
Hey Michi, what do the patterns and harmonics tell us about Pulse Malone Dogechain tokenized NFT?
What do you mean tokenized NFT? What does that mean? Is that something different than regular Pulse Malone Dogechain coin? Kush Blunts? Can you help me out here? I don't want to be like talking about something that's not real. What do you mean? They came out with something? Okay, thank you, dude. We can look at Pulse Malone Dogechain coin. I just don't know what you meant in your TTS, okay? I'm sorry if I've offended you. Okay, so something else that is in the stream title.
Much respect, brother. The education from your streams is priceless to me. Now, I'm teacher, too. I appreciate you. Keep coming back. Peace.
Thanks, Dow Jones. Thanks for the 5, dude. Well, it is your obligation in life when you learn things to teach others the things you've learned. And when you do that, believe it or not, it is extremely fulfilling. Plus, I mean, it's just like, what are you doing? You're going to learn all this stuff, and you're just not going to talk about it with people. You're not going to, hey, someone else maybe wants to know about it too. Why don't you tell them about it? Maybe they don't even know that it exists, and it's really cool and awesome, and maybe then they'll be into it. I mean, that's a lot of like me just live streaming TA.
I'm just being silly. PLS do like the Jesus.
Is that a joint?
Good God, that's loud. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I figured that's what you meant. We were going to look at it regardless of that tip or not. But thanks for the clarification. Okay, something we need to talk about, because this is like serious, dude. It's Grayscale Bitcoin. Maybe we'll look at Ethereum E too, because I don't ever look at that. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is in a lot of trouble, dude. I mean, this thing is on the cusp of death. What is death? And what I mean by death is like $3 or something, $5. Where is all the... No, it is, yeah, like $5. That's like a minimum target down there. If some level doesn't break, let me show you in a sec. All right, so I've had 825 plotted for a very long time. Very, this chart isn't touched, really. Like, I mean, back here, this is old data, old stuff. But there was just this swing low from July of 2018, a swing high from 2017, a swing low from 2019 and January. It was an inflection point. What happened today was GBTC tested it. Yes, you were lucky that traders settled up to close the week in the day above that level, but you're dangerously close to a massive bearish breakdown where historically, when you break this level, some really bad things happen. In September 2017, when you broke it, you went all the way down to 530 before rallying back above it. When you broke below it in September 2018, you went all the way down to 370, 380. When you broke it in March 2020, you went all the way down to $5. That was really the only times you broke below it. So if you do it again, history could certainly repeat itself. Thin order book till $5, and you wouldn't want to see that because that just means some really bad stuff for Bitcoin. But at this point, I'm thinking, doing the math here, the way Bitcoin looks, terrible. I know it's neutral consolidation, but it's how can you be bullish right now with the way the oscillators look and the way this is hanging off a cliff? Okay, this thing goes to $5 and Bitcoin rolls over and goes to 14K. All right, maybe, right? Very bad. Very, very bad stuff. But there was a time we were here doing the same thing I'm doing now when it was good. It was not bad. It was, oh my God, this is unbelievable. But, you know, we were bribing judges and cops and stealing, and now it's egg noodles and ketchup. It's the Goodfellas schematic, right? You are here. You are Henry Hill that has gone witness. So that's it. That's what I'm saying. It's in trouble because key level about to break. It was almost broken. Let's go to the weekly on this. I don't never go to the weekly on this. This I can do is $3, man. Oh, it's just miserable. Look at it. It's like lowest weekly candle close since April 13th, 2020.
These things are pyramid since time immemorial. SH heat runs downhill, pulse Bitcoin goes up.
Oh, what's up, Elon Musk? With Klaus Schwab accent. Thanks, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Well, I'm not even worried about either of those. I'm worried about GBTC. And the weekly takes a lot of the noise out, so you can just see the price action. It's up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's it. So why not down again? You're on base for straight down. That's the target. $5. Okay, anyway, that's only like 40% downside. I mean, I know people don't care. People are just like, whatever, bro. It doesn't matter to me. $40 or 40%. Let the boomers know, because they're the only ones that care about this. Made the analogy today. It's like, who buys GBTC? Someone said, and it's like, GBTC is for boomers that are skeptical about crypto but want to be cool, and they want to be able to connect with their younger son. And I said it was like the movie Half Baked, where you had the dad who's trying to be cool in the movie, and he's like smoking the Gandalf pipe, you know, and his son's in the other room smoking just a regular bowl, and it's like that's what GBTC is. That's all it is, dude. All right, we can shift it to the S&P real quick. You know, it's cool that it's been rallying. It's been having good times. Very indecisive week. Not much movement, clearly. This candle represents 5 days of trading. And engulfing candle still active. Positive Momo still building. Everything's fine for higher prices, but on the weekly, daily's starting to show a little bit of bearish divergence, though. Your RSI is still, remember, it rejected 60 a couple days ago, and it's still not in the bullish control zone. It's still below the 200 moving average, 200-day moving average, still below the supply line. Bear trend is still very much intact. I just want you to make sure you understand that, okay? Bear market, you have to say it. Maybe type it in the chat. Still well intact downtrend on the S&P 500. And an extended bear market rally been going on since the 13th of October. So it's been over 1 month of the bear market rally. The last bear market rally lasted from its bottom 61 days, so 2 months. So we're not even close to the same amount of time in this bear market rally that we had earlier this year, this summer. You had 36 days in. So maybe a little bit more time of some illiquid up days, okay? So you match the previous bear market rally's time, but just know where you are. And it's hard to be, like, how could you want to own stuff right now? I just, especially with that analog VIX chart, good God, man. Wow, dude, I'm surprised. We have a poll, and 65% of y'all say Bitcoin dominance is Wyckoff accumulation. And then, you know, 36% of y'all say no. So after me going step by step of the Wyckoff accumulation schematic, 37% of y'all right now don't believe it. Y'all are just saying, nah, that's fake news. That's bullcrap. That's 1920 stuff. Forget you. Interesting. That'd be fun to see how this plays out. It's going to take a while, though. I mean, it'll take months probably for the Wyckoff distribution accumulation to play out. You know, distribution for Ethereum to Bitcoin. All right, S&P, Dow Jones, okay. Energy, dude, energy, pump it. Yep, energy does it, man. You pretty much broke out today. 33,729 was breached and up 0.59%, all energy. Energy had some pullbacks and now it's starting to go again. So I guess if that's the case, then you'll be headed to test 34,266, the high from August 17th. And doing that, man, that's when you're really starting to do some interesting things where, but it's still, after a run like that, man, you gotta be really careful and taper your expectations here. Cause I mean, like that, these legs up normally don't end well. They'll end with waves down. So it's been nonstop since the 13th. But yeah, man, at technical levels here, and if you break it, my God, 35K eventually, if it keeps going, energy keeps doing what it's doing, then maybe. Whoops, wrong chart. Nasdaq looks bad, dude. No way you can be bullish on this. There's not even hopium right now. When you're below the original supply line of the downtrend, no hopium. Just awful. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You like pretty much rejected it today. You like confirmed its validity. The bearish abandoned baby stuff's still real. Remember that? I mean, then 10,823, this is real. Yeah, man, this is not really that great. I mean, this is Dow Jones, maybe. Cool. All right, energy, but tech. I know the Russell 2000, you know, something else. It looks amazing and stuff. But dude, here's my issue. Like, this is what happens in good market conditions when the TA plays out and is bullish and all that. You're talking about a bullish pattern in a bullish trend. Oh wait, it's a bullish pattern in a bearish trend. Therefore, it may not be reliable. And if it does become or be reliable, it's going to underperform a lot of the time. Pure underperformance would be unable to even break the dragon spine. This is a bullish dragon and you can't break the spine, the supply line. And you spend all week failing too. That's the problem. So these targets I mean, if you don't break out if you don't break out, there is no target. There are no targets until a breakout happens, all right? So I figured, hey man, we plotted this a couple weeks ago. It's like this, if it breaks out, dude, you got targets, but not until then. And we go to the weekly and it still looks incredible. But my God, man, you've now spent pretty much 2 weeks not able to break. It still looks beautiful on the weekly. I mean, even though that almost harami looking candle's there, everything's okay right now. Just to see the daily fail so miserably at that supply line, it's kind of, not sure I like that, but everything else is pretty solid right now. Okay, so that was the thing to take from the Russell 2000, the IWM. Failed breakout of the supply line, as well as rejection of the 200-day simple moving average. Well, we've seen that before. That happened in August and then dump. Look, man, 200-day moving average rejected in January, dump. We can do a dump again. Wouldn't be that surprising. Gold. Well, you were at an 886 from your previous high to low. 886s, you know, reactions happen there, even if they're limited and they don't last long. You hit the 886 twice. 48 hours you've tested it, and you've been rolling over since then. And you're just pulling back now. Typical, right? I mean, you made your lowest lows, and now you've made a new, fresh, new, discernible lower high than your previous high, than your previous high, than your previous high. So really nothing's changed so much. Maybe on the sell-off, we make a substantially higher low than these lows. But gold could keep pulling back. If you go to 1682, it'd be wonderful for a back test, but you may not get that either. So just saying, after any asset runs up and retraces 88% from its previous high to low, you know that is certainly an area, if not the area, where reactions, reversals occur. And that happened on gold, and the 886 happened to be pretty freaking lined up, confluent with a real inflection point, and that inflection point, it takes you all the way back, Larry, to look at this, November 2011, February 2012, and even October 2012. That's real. That was tested, or virtually tested, that close, you know. So this, just keeping these things in mind. You've not reversed your trend to bullish. Just because you waved up doesn't mean you're trending upwards. Just a full reset in a downtrend so far. It's almost a sharp, you know. We're back. Same situation with silver and stuff. Right, you're unable to, you know, sustain price. Remember, this was the bottom of the old multi-year range or whatever, or at least 1 year range, and we could not. The buyers could not summon enough bids to keep us above that level for long at all. In fact, it was a bearish engulfing candle, back test, follow through, rejecting, and we are below the 200-day simple moving average as well. There could be a lot. If you break below 2073 next week, there could be a lot of downside. So it's a very, very similar, if not identical, situation to gold, where we talk about a previous discernible swing high to a low, and where did all this reaction begin? What did it do? Where was it when the reaction started? As you can see, the 88% retrace. High to low, 886. Okay, go figure. Wow, crazy, right? Yes, crazy. Copper is perfect, man. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, that's just, you know, a Gartley type 2s, spring back test, rallies, hits 395, which just happens to be an inflection point from, you know, 2021. Very close to the 200-day moving average, but you didn't even test that. But that's where you reversed, right? You hit the top of the supply line, or yeah, the upsloping resistance, which is the supply line of this this massive bearish consolidation structure. That's what this is, man. I mean, this could certainly still be a bear flag. I think you're in a downtrend, and I think this is happening. But in time, you will eventually mark down, eventually see 253 when it's all said and done. This could take months. A full 886 from that previous low to the highest highs. Yeah, but this happens.
Hey Mitch, can we take a look at SI? Appreciate the education I've been able to absorb from watching you day in day out. Could see generational lows in the coming weeks/months. You have no idea how short I am.
That's old Michael Burry. He deleted that tweet pretty fast, didn't he? But he also went really long on prison stocks, right? So, and those assets, a lot of them are at very perfect composite operator accumulation areas, right? So But yeah, I get it, man. Like tech or financials, like you think that might be a perfect sector to be shorting because they've had these really, really strong bear market rallies that have changed. The trend has not changed. They're not in bullish trends just because they've had massive impulses up off some nasty lows, and earnings kind of kept them going too. But I'm just looking at the XLF, man. Bro, I mean, it's just like, I mean, I get it. It confirmed a bottom and rallied and stuff, but like, look at this. This is the level, man. Like, this is clearly rejection. I mean, you're above it for now, but can't wait to see how this ends. Do you rally up to $38 on the XLF? This is the financial index fund or whatever. Or this is where you reverse again, because that's what happens every single time you're here. And it's a long way down to 30. Though I get that you broke the supply line and all that, you have not reversed your trend. Anyway, so you were talking about that. I just brought this up because it's like one of the sectors like, extended. It's bull crap. Okay, I'll go back to commodities for a sec, I guess, right? Wow. So coal future or coal, Peabody Energy can't do it, man. This is like the coal chart, BTU coal. Couldn't do it, man. Not yet. It's okay though. There's bearish divergence too. This could roll over and come back to 2350 or whatever, but still very strong uptrend. Just unable to break the sell wall for real. And there could be another drawdown, and that's okay. You're just gonna make another higher low. It's a very interesting chart. Sorry, let's go to US oil. That didn't have a good day at all. And there you go, man. It's just like I was gonna end. Nah, dude, this thing, yep. As I kind of suspected when the new data presented itself and you were showing me bearish divergence, when you should be inverse head and shouldering, you broke a supply line. You were not supposed to be going up to this same peak, confirming the top and showing me buyer exhaustion. You can't do that. And then you fall below 87, and here we go. And once that breaks, man, $62. I mean, $75 first, sure, but then you go massive downside below the inflection point of 75. You get like 18% down. So it's over, dude. The cycle, I think this reconfirms the cycle's over for US oil. Nice freaking shark pattern. That was the Jesus, man. What just happened? Oh, wow. So about 10 minutes ago, Elon Musk just tweeted a poll that said reinstate former President Trump, yes or no. Talk about spicy. Oh my God. Super spicy. All right, US oil done for. Probably going way lower. And it would be a target of $61. Okay, sorry. What about natural gas? Trying to creep out or climb out of this freaking zone. Above 634, you go to 763. You got to wonder if it's going to do that. It's been tough, man. Like lately, just natural gas, like just since the 27th of October, just have fun with that, man. What are you going to do with it? All right, so just got to move on. I mean, that's it. It's getting really close to breaking a level, and if you do, you could be headed to 763. All right. Getting colder, getting a lot colder. Clearly, I mean, it's snowing inside of my penthouse, so that's how you know how cold it is. Therefore, natural gas demand gonna jump, right? And then you've got, we could just all over the place, commodities, cotton futures rolling over, establishing a a peak, a discernible peak on the daily. All right, you better hold this. If you don't hold this, you go straight back down to $73. What about our steak futures? Live cattle futures. Sorry, man. You will eat the bugs. This price goes higher. This chart is bullish for bugs because the more expensive steak becomes, the more, you know, I would say the more that the consumer would be looking for alternatives to live cattle futures. Therefore, that equals bugs or lentils or whatever. Can't stop. Just consolidating bullishly at the pattern completions and just pausing. Stupidly bullish. Wow. What about orange juice futures? Same type of structural development. A little bit better performance on the sell-off, right? But this had a far superior edge with the triple bearish divergence on the oscillators. The live cattle did not have that. Closed the week below 202.75. Very important level. Very important level back from 2011. An inflection point where, and you can see this. I mean, this is a massive, massive level. And this is exactly where orange juice, historically, this is exactly where orange juice always reverses its cycle. So it's either here or it goes maybe to 227, but then it reverses. So just like corn, just like wheat, just like soybeans, orange juice is getting very close to doing the exact same thing they all did. And either it's sooner or later, but I just want you to see this. Okay. Here's your corn futures. Remember that time when we were back in May, identifying the exact same thing, historical reversal points. And guess what happened at the historical reversal? You completed a bearish shark with a head and shoulders and a back test of up thrust, back test, up thrust, shooting star. And that's what happened. That's where you reversed. So orange juice is getting up there. That's what I'm saying. Finally, right? Getting to its own inflection points. What else did this? Soybeans was perfect. As you can see from history, going back to 2008, a couple times, and back to 2012, the same thing happened. Larry, first time you reversed in 2021, but then again. And this thing unable to break above 1436, meaning it would lead me to believe eventually would see 1320 again. But then you had wheat futures, the exact same thing, Larry. Let me show you. All the way back to 2008. What happened at 1350, you reversed violently, almost immediately. That's orange juice. That was the whole point of me looking at these. Okay, they reverse at reversal areas. I don't have my blizzard on. I guess the snow subsided a little bit. We'll go with that. All right, then we're gonna go with request, man. Then we're gonna request a rate. Let's see here. Check my notes.
Gentlemen in the mix.
Sorry. Okay, total. Did we even do it? We didn't play the sound clip, did we? Let's do it.
I like turtles.
There's bears out here.
Okay, man. This is total. If you don't think this is it. I mean, it may hold here, bro, but if it doesn't, understand virtually unlimited downside potential. $388 billion market cap, below 763 billion market cap. You're at 788, only cool 20 billion more before collapse. That is just the problem, man. That's the issue. And all this is happening only after you made a high, you made a lower high, you've now made an 886 lower high again, and you're just sitting here and no one's buying. Who would buy? Why would anyone buy, dude? Why? The biggest scandal in human history, pretty much, unfolding still but before our eyes. So who's going to want to buy this, dude? Would retail? No. Would institutions? No. No one. So why don't we just wait for it to collapse?
All hail Mitch.
And pick it up on pennies on the dollar.
Real. Boyle and NG are looking interesting. Someone going to freeze this summer.
What's up, TSL8? Thanks, man. Yeah, we just looked at natural gas, and I concur. It's interesting. It's like it could very well be getting ready. Could be getting ready, man, on the daily. If it breaks, it's all like this one last level. You break 634, straight up 763 and beyond. It's not over yet. And that underperformance from the bearish abandoned baby is telling. Buyers defending 575 after the bearish abandoned baby, and the hidden bearish divergence playing out terribly. Meaning who's in control? Maybe the bulls, the buyers might still be deeply in control of natural gas if everything that was bearish is just failing, not playing out, doing terrible. Yeah. 763 target if that's true. All right. Thanks, dude. So just back to total again, man. Total 3's already broken supports. Total 3 is already like, wow, about to go to zero almost. You know, it's just so much downside. But total itself, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the S coins combined. Hang on by a thread. Have your alert set up, because when you hear the beep below 763 billion, you know how significant it is. You hear that beep, I might be going live, you know.
And then, just like that,
Bitcoin going to zero.
What?
When it comes out, zero.
Oh my God, man. What was his first request? Was no.
You're an asset to us all, Mitch. Thank you.
What's up, DXY guy? Thanks for the $5 super chat. Much love, dude. Thank you. Well, I mean, you know, you're, I mean, so many of y'all are just like incredible members of our community, and without y'all making it up, there is no community. So thanks for being part of it. Thanks for participating and just being a solid member, you know, dude. Just bad, man. It can break upward, sure, but like, who's gonna be the dunce to buy it to push it up? I'm just like wondering. I'm thinking out loud. It's like, who even wants to short squeeze right now, dude? Let's just let it dump. Let's all get a discounted price at 12K or 10 or 11K. I mean, like, I know where it's at. I mean, it could rally to 19,650 and blow everyone's hair back, and it's unbelievable, right? But really, what a Rudy Poo support. I mean, it's like one time, dude, November 2020. Benjamin Cohen, dude, you should rewind. People have been saying you've been talking about Bitcoin dominance. I had a very good session talking about Bitcoin dominance, and then right after that, Ethereum to Bitcoin. I think you'd like it, man. It might add to, you know, it definitely complements your argument, I would imagine. So if you just rewind, it was very early in the stream, after the initial crypto request, or the initial cryptos I looked at, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Cardano, and Matic and stuff. So just look for it. I think it'll be good for you. Just be good. It just, you know, it's like, oh yeah, well there's that too then, right? You can say that. Good to see you though. Happy Friday. Where no one's buying Bitcoin right now. Not yet. I don't know why they would or how, and it doesn't make sense on any time scale. There's no like seller exhaustion. In fact, the 4 hour looks prime for lower prices, but it's just not. No sellers have come in yet. And the same case with Ethereum. I just don't. It's just successfully bearishly back tested a key inflection point 48 hours now, and it's below it. It's confirmed it as rejection again or resistance again. It's just like, what else is there to do besides now mark down to $1,000? All that happens when you're below 1224, chat, is up, down, up, down. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up. Very thin order book below 1224. And then look here. Listen. Straight down, up, down, up, down, up. And then you didn't quite get there because that Bitcoin, bids came in. But you can see the price action below this level. And if you're below the level, it's dangerous. It's virtually dangerous to be long here. To own Ethereum below 1224, you run the risk, if it stays below this too long and you catch follow through, you run the risk of waking up and Ethereum's down 10%. Now above it, hey man, that might be, we got an argument above it for maybe 1420 or even 1728. That's what happened this summer, right? You go down in September, you test that level. You tested a couple times. That was a head fake before it rallied, broke 1420 and went to the supply line of the downtrend and the 200-day moving average at the same time. And then where did it reverse? Exactly at those areas. It's perfect, right? So, there you have it. I've got problems. Let's get to these requests, right? First one was XDB to USDT. XDB. Whoops. XDB. What the? Oh my god! It looks like a scam. Well, it looks like everything else, man. I don't know. Like, all right, this was a request, and this is from Anonymous, and I am very grateful. Dang, dude, this thing's wrecked, right? It's so wrecked, it's at all-time lows, isn't it? Here was your all-time low. Here was the new all-time low in October 2020. Well, I mean, you're below it, aren't you? Like, the levels that should have been support are just acting as resistance. And now I get it. I understand. You're requesting it probably because it's like you had the selling climax, you've had a huge rally, and you're selling off, and just there's just not enough supply. There's not enough sellers to push the price back to that 2.3 tenths of 1 cent area 1, 2, 3 times, and now it's engulfing candle yesterday. Okay, it kind of looks good locally. Long term is miserable, and you know that where you are is you're just regarding the old supports as resistance now. If you ever break 7.58 tenths of 1 cent, and it's real, not fake or fake like here, there was a candle close but never a back test, and then it just dumped again. If you ever break 7.58 tenths of 1 cent, then 1 cent is your target. Like, that would easily be the target. Why? Because it's the old supports. It's a zone here, right? It's like 1 cent to 1.5 cents. Or 1.05 cents, excuse me. So that's all I got for you, man. It's terrible, dude. It's lost its whole soul, and maybe it's put in a higher low here. I don't know how it does anything. It's so, like, I've never even heard of it. Digital bits. That's what's called, digital bits. It's so low rep, low key that it may not even react. It may not even have a high beta to Bitcoin. I just think if Bitcoin dumps, this thing is going to get wrecked. It's just, you're in one of those situations, dude. It's like, well, it's at all-time lows. It just made all-time lows. But yeah, I get it. It's making higher lows now. And if it breaks a certain level, it goes to the next one. If it ever breaks that one, it goes even higher. Trying to make sense of maybe like a zone here. I almost made it. Don't want to spend too much time on something like this. It's not the ones like our favorite ones to look at, right? If it was if it was doing all this and it was back testing old supports as support, I'd be way more optimistic. It's just not doing that, right? Already looked at Sol. We'll look at Pulse Melodious Dogecoin coin. What's up, Emiliano? Thanks for the 16 super chat. No words? No words, man? Just Just super chat, man. Supporting the channel. Thank you so much, dude. 100% crowdsourced stream. So it means a lot more to me than it would maybe someone who, I don't know, Shield FTX or BlockFi or some other scam that's been exposed now. Yeah, thank you, dude. Greatly appreciate it. So Post Miller's Dogecoin coin from yesterday hasn't changed much, down 2.77% on the new day. It's above 488, which is an inflection point. But also we knew that 635 was going to be an inflection point. It seems like you're just in between those levels right now. Breaking 635 takes you to 884. Staying below 635 too long probably takes you back down to 48 again. Below 488, you're out. You don't want anything to do with it because it's going down 240 probably. But for now, you're safe above that level. You broke a supply line locally, and you haven't seen positive momentum on the daily since Friday, October 28th. So it's been a while. So you think it is an uptrend. You are uptrending. Well, let's see if that uptrend continues. It's going to be tough with bearish macro conditions, right? If things just don't look very good on Bitcoin, they look terrible on Ethereum. Despite what happens on price next with Ethereum, it is terrible. It is technically awful, and it's backed up with TA, not feelings. So if the TA is telling us what's going on, what's reality right now, and it's not a head fake, or because it could be a head fake. Head fakes happen all the time, man. But if the TA is actually screaming at us, telling us what's coming next, Ethereum's about to collapse. Bro, there's life outside crypto? What? Of course there is. You're subjected to it most of the day. You come here and we're looking at crypto, but we also look at what? Equities, commodities, even we'll look at currencies if you want. This is across the markets, man. Miliano. Let's go to it right now. Chiliz pretty solid looking technically, but again, it's just, we're in this world where with Bitcoin, Ethereum dump, how can anything be good?
Ha ha. Forgot the words. Football World Cup in 2 days. What do you think about CHZ? Thank you, Mitch. It's
a pretty whack chart. I mean, it's like, you had your lowest lows in June. Now an old inflection point at 16.3 cents has been regarded as support October 15th and 20th, and now recently November 11th. Now it's that dreadful dump day for all of crypto. Bitcoin made its lowest lows in 2 years. This one doesn't give a crap. This is staying above the 200-day moving average. In fact, it's broken above 24.38 cents. Another inflection point. You stay above that long enough, you go to 33 cents. But the issue is, the past 3 times you've broken 24 cents, you've ended up utterly failing and falling right back down to 16 cents again, or roughly at it. So a lot of widening of price action. It's almost like a broadening top, right? Where you've got, no, that's not good because that's a broadening top with a partial. It's almost like, good God, man, what is it? Just, yeah, it's a broadening top and you potential partial rise that did not manifest into a dump. That's just crazy. If it played out, it's got so much, I mean, my God, it'd be probably going to like 60 cents, 58 cents because the size of the structure is insane. But dude, I have problems, man. I have really bad problems looking at altcoins, cryptos, backed by nothing but speculation, market sentiment, oftentimes FOMO, and knowing what Bitcoin and Ethereum look like they're going to do, and then looking at this and just being like, hey, man, I'm so bullish on Chiliz. Like, I'm identifying a potential inverse head and shoulders structure here, right? A momentum shifting structure on Chiliz. And there's some really redeeming qualities of this chart, way better than Bitcoin. I just have concerns about if Bitcoin, Ethereum dump hard, this thing's just not gonna moon probably. That's my problem, okay? So 24 cents is a level, you better hold it. If you don't, 4th time you failed and going right back down to 16 cents. Now you stay above it long enough, maybe you back test it, you go to 33 cents. 33 cents is the big one. You haven't tested that since March, so and you may not test it for a while. You may never test it at this point, but that would be the next big level. Breaking that takes you up substantially, 45 cents. And my God, 60 cents after that. So just, that's my thought on it. It's cool. We've identified it. It's performing wonderfully compared to Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin wants to flush out again with Ethereum, I just don't know how this goes up. and not down. All right, sorry. That's right. This team has good hearts, though. It's Wall Street Journal, man. They came out with an article saying Chiliz teams have good hearts. So maybe that's why it looks so good, right? Technically. And if you didn't know, that was the last request. We didn't have many requests today, man. Pretty light stream. Great for me because everything's working for me again. Like, oh God, it was just getting so bad. And it just crescendoed into, oh, the internet's not even going to work right. Well, that's it. Now everything works again, and I'm happy about it, so. Monthly, weekly resistance at 28 cents. Well, there you go, too. You got a resistance, man. You got it, dude. Will we hold? Dang, man. The no's keep gradually increasing on the is Bitcoin dominance and Wyckoff accumulation. 38% of y'all say no, it's not. It's a joke. Still majority saying yes. That right there, man. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on 388 billion as it is in heaven. Oh yeah, Ethereum or Ethereum E, we got to look at that too. That's the Grayscale Ethereum Trust. Awful, dude. Just miserable. I wouldn't say a key support. It already broke it. It broke a local support from June, right? Yeah, you talk about a bubble. Here was your bubble. Then got to a high of $47 on the run. Of course, it listed in June 2019 at $68. June of 2019 got listed. You know what that happened? That was the top of that rally off the Gartley low. They listed it then, didn't they? That's just perfect. All right, so yeah, man, breaking below the June 21st, June 29th lows. The next support's 451. So yeah, you can't believe it, man. It doesn't even look like it from here. But Ethereum E has another good 31.6% downside. It'll happen. And but oh yeah, but it's just hard to see it, right? To be like, is it really 30% downside? Why does my candles look so messed up here? There's a lot of gaps on this, but are things off here? What the? Confused. I don't know. Oh yeah, Caroline Ellison's a math whiz who loves Harry Potter and taking big risks. She's also one of the supporting players in Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX catastrophe and a new darling of the alt-right. Just complete fake news. Like, dude, you can't, like, mainstream media, mainstream activists, they are not news anymore. What they report will not be real. I mean, like, yeah, hey man, an explosion happened. All right. But they'll say an explosion happened and it was probably from the alt-right, or it was somehow because Trump. And it's just like people that are not crazy, like on the far left or right, in the middle, like us, dude. It's just it's sickening. It's like I'm so tired of it because it's just blatant lies. They like try to treat us like we're stupid, and we see through it so easily. It's just the. But I get it, man. It's like their power. They'll kill somebody. They''ll kill many people to stay in power. Yeah, the Poland missile too. That's another thing, right? Yeah, like they were like, oh my God, they're just seething that it wasn't World War III. They're like just so mad. They're like, oh, it's got to be Russia. Don't they, dude? It's just like they try to stay out of politics. But my God, man, like what they've done lately, what they're doing now is just, it's bleeding into economics and finance, our world. Affecting markets, dude. All right, so you just know Ethereum E, 31% downside, and That's the only thing that makes sense. And if you think about that, how does Ethereum not dump here, man? How does Ethereum to the US dollar rally? This would be a certain fake out if that happened, because this would go up if Ethereum US dollar goes up from here. But like, just, you wonder, is it ominous or is it just bullcrap? The fact that this 691 support from June broke today, not yesterday, today. It was down 7%. You know, Ethereum to the US dollar closed, I think, up 1% today, and this thing was down 7%. You just got to wonder, man, is this foreshadowing of what's to come for Ethereum to US dollar? Because there's no way, I don't think Ethereum E goes down 31% without Ethereum to US dollar helping. So all these things going, it's just really tough to like want to, or to be enthusiastic about being long. Okay. What was it, man? That was the stream. I mean, I've been live an hour and a half now, so I mean, you know, I think we covered a lot of stuff. Anyone that requested something got well. I mean, we looked at natural gas already. Yeah. Yeah, we've SI for Mark. We got to look at SI. Sorry, one more. Snuck by me. Silver futures. Or Silvergate. I bet he means Silvergate. Because Silvergate's involved with crypto too, this whole crypto thing. And the dude was on CNBC today talking about they're good, man. He said they're fine. They got no problems. Well, guess what? Silvergate's not stopping until $17, $16.93. Did you feel the gap today? Not even. Oh my God. There is an unopened gap at 24.06. You didn't even touch it today. You were close. It's coming. It will happen. It will. You will fill the gap from November 2020, probably on Monday. And then after that, once that gap fills and it doesn't act as support and you break through it, 1693, meaning SI has another good, easy, right? Another, without a doubt, 32% downside, just like Ethereum E. How convenient that they have equal downside potential until they reach their next technical supports. Very, very interesting, Larry. What a joke. Look at this. Bro, I bought it $238 on Silvergate and it's $25. Well, now it's below $25, so. All right. That was the last request. I mean, that's it, man. Like, what else can I talk about on something like this? Still in impulse phase, still in crash phase. All right, pay attention. I mean, of course, these joke illiquid markets going to be going up and down. It's the weekend, so add more effery to it. Oh, pump it. It's pumping, man, on Saturday and dumps on Sunday, or vice versa. Dumps tomorrow, then pumps on Sunday. You're going to get that. You get that every weekend, so don't get too crazy with it, unless we get some sort of very rare occurrence, which happened on Black Saturday, June 18th. But after that, I mean, and before that, it's very rare you see insane, like concise moves on weekends where, wow, that's not recovering anytime soon, or that's not going much lower anytime soon. You don't get those very often, but when you do, they're there, and I try to be live for them. So if it happens, all right, just be prepared for a live stream, and that's why you want to be in the Discord. Make sure your notifications are on so you get pinged when I go live, because YouTube will probably fail. But if not, I'll probably just be back on Sunday for the weekly candle close. We can talk about that then. So just be careful out there, all right? It's not looking good at all. Things are still breaking if you haven't noticed. You just got to wonder, tomorrow, what's the news going to be? What new event will occur that will just add gasoline to this already smoldering dumpster fire? go ahead and queue up X. It's coming. So thanks again for everything. Likes, love, supports, contributions, everything in between. Until next time, respect the TA.
Sometimes being imaginative costs you, and the question is how many of us are willing to bear the costs of being different, being imaginative, asking tougher questions. And I think we all have some reluctance to do that. Being imaginative costs.
To me, it's reasonable to compare you, I usually don't do this, to Steve Jobs and what he did for computing. I regard you as a visionary, next generation person. Is this the kind of ridiculous pressure that nobody...
price is gonna dip.